Hello, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a good day. As you can see, Booger was tearing up my couch again. Booger, what have you done to my couch? Doggone it. Anyway, how are you guys doing? It is a very hot day here in Oregon. It is 103 degrees outside. And I would love to have the air conditioning on right now, but if I do that, that's going to interfere in the audio. So I'm going to do my react to Chantal. And if it gets too hot in here, I'm just going to have to cut it short. And that's just how we're going to do it. But I did a little commentary type video this morning and posted it when I had time. And there was a live that I wanted to react to. But while I was away doing my stuff today, riding 5 miles today on my bicycle, when I got home, I discovered that Chantal had done another live. So I'm just trying to catch up to all the stuff that she's doing. The latest live, which is the live dinner bees, what was she doing? She was eating when honestly she shouldn't have been eating. She was complaining about the reaction channels again. She was going after Yaba. She was going after Kalari. I don't know why. I don't know why she's going after the reactors. Why she's so angry at them when she's the one that's done the most damage to herself, but that's just what she's choosing to do. I suspect that when she went to the hospital, the doctors told her things that she did not want to hear, possibly some serious news. So rather than process that serious news and do something about what's wrong, she's going to take out her frustration and anger on all of us because that's what Chantal does. So there's a lot of stuff that I've been collecting on Twitter this morning before I left and even after I got back, little tidbits. Some of this stuff is positive. Let's go over all the Twitter stuff and then we'll cover at least part of the live that she did. If she starts to get boring, we'll just skip ahead. And the live itself was really, really long. It's like 3 hours long. And I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. I know you guys don't have time for that. We've all got things to do. We got lives to live. And Chantal doesn't, hence the reason why she's live for 3 hours. So let's just get the gist of it. Let's just get the meat and potatoes and go. All right, so let me just go ahead and share the screen so you guys can see what's going on here. Okay. All right. So for those of you that are on Twitter, that you want to find me on Twitter, it's Wild Girl Sarah. All right, let's start out everything with something nice, you know, as kind of a palate cleanser before we're going to deal with all of the vile awfulness that is Chantal. So nature is amazing. A fawn resting in a field of flowers. Isn't that beautiful? That's so precious. Okay, on to the beast. Yup says, Foodie claiming that the hospital bill that included treatment, an overnight stay, and a diabetic education class cost $50 is nonsense. No way that's true. 50 KD, I believe, but not $50. Well, here's the issue that I'm having with believing that. Yes, it's in dinar, but what does she get paid in? The Canadian dollar. And anybody can look this up. Her currency in Kuwait is virtually worthless. To equal 1 Kuwaiti dinar, she has to pay nearly 5 Canadian dollars. So I think maybe she thinks by saying things in the Kuwaiti dinar that it sounds cheaper than what it is, when actually it's just the opposite. It's very, very expensive. For her, it would be expensive because of her Canadian currency, because that's how she gets paid. Do I believe that a hospital bill with treatment, an overnight stay, insulin, all that stuff is $50? No. No way. No way. No way. I'm sure it was really, really expensive. That is the place that Chantal has pushed herself into. She got all kinds of serious health problems. So serious that a few pills are not going to fix it. A shot's not going to fix it. These are not simple problems. They are very complex, serious internal problems, which require intensive treatment, which means it's going to be expensive. So she started out in 2018 not needing to take pills or insulin. Now she's at the point where she needs to take pills and do insulin to manage her diabetes and manage her blood sugar. She pushed herself to that point, and she's the only one to blame. And the longer she stays on YouTube, the more she does her mukbangs, the worse it's going to get. Her doing the mukbangs punishes no one but herself. She can eat all of the food in Kuwait. The only one that's going to be personally affected by that is her. All of us are just watchers, spectators, viewers. None of those calories or cholesterol or fat or oil is going to affect any of us. So I don't know what she thinks she's doing the mukbangs, trying to punish other people when it's not going to punish us at all. Okay, this is funny from Uncensored USA. A dog accidentally attends a news interview and the interviewer is cracking up. Look at this poor puppers. He looks concerned. He looks like he has some concerns on his mind. Look at him. Look at that face. Like he looks kind of sad and concerned about something. He needs to have a word with somebody. It's okay, puppers. Whatever it is, no, everybody will make. It's such a concerned face. I can't get over it. Poor thing. All right, Miss Lori says Foodie is definitely breaking TOS on her latest live. Are you going to do anything this time, YouTube? Yeah, what she's doing right there with the injection, you can't do that on YouTube. That's a big no-no. And I don't understand. For someone who wants to have a personal private life, why can't she keep anything private? Wouldn't this be considered something you want to keep private and you would do off camera? She's doing it for attention. Now, Chantal likes to say that the reactors pick on her because of her weight. We don't pick on her. We just point out all of the lies that she tells, all of the misinformation that she is spreading or trying to spread. We don't like the fact that she hurts animals. We don't like the fact that she treats BED, SA, DV, diabetes as a joke. None of these things are a joke. None of these things are funny. But turning all of these things into spectacle for content. It's stuff like this here that it's horrible. She's not doing what she's doing right here in the photo for educational purposes. She just wants attention. She could easily do that off camera, but she wants everybody to watch. And after peeking at her live, I think I came up with a new name for her content. So the name that she wants to give it is a mukbang. I've heard the term yuckbong, and that is appropriate. But I think we're at the point now where we can call it snuff bong. Because what we're watching, ladies and gentlemen, is a snuff film in very slow motion. In fact, it's not slow anymore. She's put her foot on the gas pedal. She lives her life in front of the camera. I think she wants to move on to the other side in front of the camera as well. I don't want to see that. I think that would be too traumatic for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But she is just determined to make everybody watch every single minute of her demise. Perfectly Imperfect says one day after those diuretics they undoubtedly gave her and she's swollen again. Yeah, she looks a lot less swollen here. So the hospital, they did their job. They gave her something to reduce the swelling. What a difference that going to the hospital can make and just having the fluid drained. But she'll be back with that puffiness again because she's not going to stay away from the food. She's not going to stay away from it. And can I interject and give my thoughts here? As someone that I once had a food issue, one addict can't lie to another. You can't lie to one of your own, especially. I've been watching Chantal for years, y'all, and I have not seen any kind of fight in this woman. I haven't seen her fight against her addictions. I've seen her giving into them and leaning into them and monetizing them, but not truly fighting against it. I haven't seen an attitude of, I'm on this roller coaster and I want off. I just don't know how to get off. Like, I haven't seen that look in her eyes of, I'm sick of this. I want something different. I just want to be done with this merry-go-round. I'm not feeling that energy from her. Haven't felt it. And all the time that I've been watching her, haven't felt it, haven't seen it. I see her exploiting it. I see her monetizing it and giving her all of her addictions and obsessions a job. But I haven't seen her try to fix any of them. She doesn't want to. Because those things that are causing her pain, those things that are negative, she's using to make money. If you took the addictions away, if you took the obsessions away, if you took away the drama, if she got down to a normal weight and just had a normal life, would people still watch her the way they do? Would there still be the same vibe? Probably not. Why? Because there's nothing else to Chantal. She doesn't have any passions or interests or hobbies or anything else that she can focus the audience into. She got nothing. So she's playing the cards that she has in her hand and not looking for different ones to replace them. But let's watch the clip from Perfectly Imperfect.
Lay off the sodium and quit coming for me. Shut the fuck up.
Naughty language. Boo. I'm okay with naughty language, but YouTube, they don't like it. Bad, Chantal, bad. Even though I'm not using it, they're probably gonna slap me for this. Oh well, I don't care.
Yeah, you are. Goodbye. You're clearly a dumbass. What do you mean?
With the words.
No, and I know, and you know I don't. Don't tell me what I know. Get out of here. Seriously. I'll rage and swear if I want. I don't care how it makes me look. Whatever.
You know, I honestly, Chantal, I don't know why you rage and swear on the live. Aren't you hurting for money? You know how YouTube is. You say swear words in your live and they're going to ding you and give you the yellow $sign, stupid.
It's self-defense, Nixie. It's not offensive. It's defensive.
You know what? You can only claim self-defense when someone is attacking you. Reaction channels on their channels, doing their lives, doing their videos, just expressing their opinions, that is not attacking her. That is simply us using our voices and our brains to voice our concerns, to voice our opinions, to put stuff out there on our forums. She just likes to wander all over the place and try to control everybody's narratives. She wants to control the entire narrative. You can't. You got to let people say what they want to say. And if you don't like it, then stay out of their backyard. Nobody invited you to our party. Go away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Keenan Bear. You're not modded? Okay. Can you kick out all the stupid fucking assholes? Thank you.
The language.
That sounds like I thought Yabba was you. What's wrong with looking like me? I'm sorry. Like, I find I'm prettier than her in the face. I don't care.
Who cares? Who cares? Why are looks coming into this? Who cares if you're prettier or uglier or fatter or thinner than anybody on YouTube? What does appearance have to do with anything? Are we in a beauty pageant? No, we are reactors. You are content creators, Chantal. It's not about looks. But why does that matter to you? Whoever it is you're talking about, I'll figure it out when I watch the live. But you're always trying to one-up people. I'm prettier. I'm hotter than 90% of YouTube. I have more money. I have more subs. I have more views. It's funny how all these things that you have, you're not a happy person. You're not a content person. You're completely freaking miserable. That's why you're doing this live today. You are mad.
I'm human, I'm allowed to be mad, and I'm not going to apologize for anything.
Oh, we know that, and that's part of your problem. You're not going to apologize for anything, and you don't feel remorse, and you don't feel regret. You're afraid to face yourself. Honestly, you're afraid. If you had to face yourself in the mirror and absorb all of the things you've done, all the things you've said, all the people you've hurt, if that really hits you, that conscience gravity hits you, like your conscience just let it all come through, it would overwhelm you. You would crack. You wouldn't be able to handle it. So you run from your conscience. You shut it down. You make it shut up. You don't want to hear it talking to you. You don't want to better yourself. You don't want to move up in the world. You want to stay at the base primal level of yourself and listen not to the higher self and just ignore all the hurts you've done.
I'm not going to apologize for what I eat, for failing on a diet. Fuck everybody. And I'm not going to apologize for defending myself. I don't care.
But nobody's attacking you. You guys see the reacts that I do. I don't see any react channels in her live chats bugging her, harassing her, attacking her. We stay in our lane. She does her videos or her lives. We react to them. How is that attacking her? Voicing our opinions. How is that attacking? No, we're just putting our opinions out there. If she don't like it, she can stay off our channels. Stop watching us. But that's part of her problem. She's nosy. And she's obsessed with herself. She'll do a live, she'll do a video, and then spend the rest of the day and night searching her name to see who said what, where, and maybe trying to find some reason to get mad for a live to make money, or taking notes and borrowing other people's intro music or outro music or break music. She's actually a reaction channel herself. She's reacting to what the reactors say about her content. Okay, next. Let's see. Nana's Spiked Tea says, caught this before she closed the kitchen door. I could only imagine the mess that's in there. Ask me, Salah is as filthy as her. Okay, Foodie Beauty, tell us again how different you are now. Let's look at the picture evidence. So the top picture is where she's at now. And that place looks filthy. And there's no reason for it. She's not outside the house working. She's inside the house. It would take no time at all to clean that place up. And if you maintain it, it takes even less. But the bottom picture is when she was at the villa. That villa was beyond nasty. So there she is, like very, very tiny place. It's probably no bigger than the place you guys see behind me. Like I have my own place here. It takes me no time at all to clean because I am a clean person. I can have this place all done in like 10 minutes. Or maybe 5. Her apartment or villa, whatever you want to call it, it's about the same size. So why is it so nasty? Why is it so nasty? Okay, this is from Meandering Thoughts. Meandering Thoughts says, so I just asked AI if Salah is scamming Chantal. Described everything in detail, including the Kybella thing and how his situation got better and better. Better cars, better apartments, etc. AI says it's an obvious romance scam. So let's look at what AI said. about this. AI said, "What a detailed and unfortunate case. Based on your description, it appears that the young woman you're referring to is a victim of a romance scam, specifically a type of scam known as a love scam or a sweetheart scam. This type of scam typically involves a perpetrator who creates a fake online profile, often on a dating site or app, and builds a romantic relationship with the victim, usually by flattering them and making false promises. In this case, the scammer likely used social media platforms like Tinder and WhatsApp to gain the victim's trust, exploiting her vulnerability and emotional needs. The scammer's goal was to extract money and other benefits from the victim, often by creating a false sense of urgency or making unrealistic promises. Several red flags in this case stand out. 1. The scammer's sudden proposal and marriage plans despite not having met in person. 2. The victim's sudden change in behavior, adopting Islamic dress and customs, which may have been coerced or manipulated. 3. The scammer's lack of transparency about their own life, including their job status and living situation. 4. The frequent changes in living arrangements and material possessions, which may be an attempt to impress the victim or create a false sense of wealth. 5. The scammer's use of multiple phones and apps to communicate with the victim, which may indicate an attempt to keep their activities hidden. 6. The victim's failure to recognize the red flags and her willingness to overlook them due to her emotional attachment. It's essential to emphasize that romance scams are highly manipulative and can be emotionally devastating for the victims. It's crucial for individuals to be cautious with engaging with online relationships and to prioritize their safety and well-being. Well, here are my thoughts about that. Chantal is not your typical romance scam victim. I think we can all agree upon that. She definitely isn't. As a matter of fact, I think she herself is a predator. She herself is a scammer. Here's what I think happened. I think Chantal was in Canada and she just neglected herself, neglected her finances, neglected her responsibilities for so many years that everything just built up and built up and built up to the point where she had a second bankruptcy on her hands. She had a whole lot of things she needed to take care of. And she wanted to be with Nader. She couldn't be with Nader, but there was the bankruptcy just looming over her head. She thought she could just easily make it go away. That didn't happen. So she started talking to Salah. She needed a safe haven away from the tax man. And at the same time, she needed a companion to run errands for her and do things for her. So they started talking. And she started to tell him a bunch of lies. In essence, I think she turned the tables on the romance scammer. Even before Salah, Chantal did a live stream where she talked about the romance scammers out there and why would they be interested in her. She turned the tables on Salah being a romance scammer because, in my opinion, this is what I think happened. I think the entire time that they were talking, she boasted about her money. She boasted about her channel. She boasted about how much she was getting every month. More than likely, she sent him filtered pictures. And whenever they live chatted, she used the filters on her phone to make herself look different. She kept the ruse up until the very last second when she pulled up all roots in Canada and she flew her butt over to Kuwait. And Salah had no idea that he was being bamboozled until she walked through the airport. And that's part of the reason when she walked to the airport, her face was red. She was blushing because you got to know in the back of her mind, she was thinking, ha, sucker, gotcha. Most romance scammers, they talk to you from afar. They get your money, then they disappear. She wanted to make sure the guy she was talking to was not going to disappear. So she put herself in a position where she had him on lock. and he wasn't going anywhere. She literally moved to where he was so he couldn't escape. So she's not really a victim. She's a predator. She did a live stream once saying, who wants citizenship? Trying to use citizenship or her money as a golden hook, trying to catch a fish. And I think Salah lied to her. I think she lied to him. They were both scammers that basically just tangled up in each other. And it's been going on ever since. But I think Salah is at the point with it now where he realizes that all of these promises that Chantal made him, they're not going to happen. That whatever she makes, she's going to eat her way through her paycheck. He's never going to get to travel like he hoped. He's never going to get a bunch of money like he hoped. Like his dreams of just hopping on the back of a woman and just getting on the fast track to success, it's not happening through her. She's got a serious issue with food. She's got a serious addiction to food, and that's never going to change. It's only getting worse. So I think he's at the point now where he's desperate to get rid of her one way or the other so he can go live his life. Whatever it takes, whether it's giving her food or hoping something will happen, I think he's at that point where he's sick to death of her manipulation, and he wants out desperately, and he doesn't know quite how to do it yet, but he might be searching. So moving on. Yup says Foodie Beauty is hangry and Salah is not in the chat. Now that she's trying to eat right, Foodie is utterly miserable and ready to lash out at anyone brilliant. She can go ahead. She can lash out. It doesn't matter. Her rages are so stale. She's got nothing new to talk about. There's nothing new going on here. The background's not different. She's not in Canada. She can lash out at us all she wants to. It's not going to change the fact that she is living a miserable life that she designed herself, and she can blame no one but herself for. Truth Seeker says, wasn't she complaining before she left for Canada that health care was expensive in Kuwait and the care she needs she couldn't afford? That was why she was returning home until Salah ruined it. Katie Sand says, but tell us again, Foodie, how your whole stay and all the treatments were only 10 KD, when as of 2017, they were charging 70 KD per day for a hospital stay. Let's look at the picture. I'd like to see. For foreigners visiting the country, medical treatment at a polyclinic will cost 10 KD. At a hospital, 20 KD, which is $66. An outpatient clinic, 30 KD. A day in the public ward, 70 KD, which is $232. A stay in intensive care, 220 KD, which is $730. And physiotherapy will be 30 KD per session. A stay in a private room in a hospital will cost 130 KD, which is $430 per day. And the deposit for a private room, 300 KD, $994, and 150 KD for a public ward. So she was gone for a couple of days, and she's going to try to tell us that it only cost her $50. I don't believe that. I don't. I really, really don't. You know, she was paying through the nose. Nana Spike T says, Foodie, what do you mean? You were doing that with your pills. The fact that this thought entered your head after what you just went through is proof you're beyond help by your own doing. You will do exactly that all because your addiction always wins. So let's watch the clip courtesy of Kristen.
I'm not going to go on more insulin. Like, what am I going to do? Be one of those people who takes insulin, injects more and more just so you can eat a friggin' large pizza? Like, no.
Yeah, because that's what you were doing with the metformin. I mean, you straight up told us, Chantal, that before you started doing your mukbangs for the day, taking those requests, you were do your pills first. You weren't managing your diabetes with the pills. You were managing your B moments. And now you have to take insulin. You're probably going to abuse that too. You'll never learn. Let's see. Cowboy Dog says fear for your health rarely stops addiction, and a narcissistic sociopath cannot change. She will be a health guru for a week or so, and at the end of that week, the addiction will still be there waiting. Yeah, because she hasn't treated the addiction. There's no coping skills, no coping mechanisms, no therapy, no nothing. So if none of that happens, and if there's no true want of change, change will not happen. Let's watch the clip courtesy of Shenanigans.
I don't know. I'm down. Like, I don't know how well, okay. Since my last weigh-in at the doctor, I was 166, right? So I was like, I lost 17 kgs like since then.
I'm sure a lot of that was fluid, Chantal. You haven't really truly lost weight. You did mukbangs every day for like weeks. How in the world are you gaining weight when you're eating the portion of like 4 to 6 people every time you sit down for a meal? It's not possible. Loretta H. says, how dare the hospital allow other sick and suffering people into their facility when Chantal almost eats herself into a grave, being smugly defiant and is forced to seek medical intervention. Never mind if they were probably actual citizens of Kuwait. Let's watch the clip.
Like a semi-private room, so I had to share a room with somebody. There was just an elderly lady who was just like very quiet and sleeping. There was like one person the whole time, and I'm not making fun of them because I'm sure they had like dementia or something. Like sometimes like dementia patients will just continually say the same thing over and over, but this person was like kind of growling and bawling at like a sheep at the same time the whole time, like right in the room next to me, loudly over and over, and I could not like get proper rest. So
oh, boo-hoo, then don't make yourself sick and you won't have to go to the hospital.
You beef from Temu? I watch somebody who opens old MREs from like the 40s, and sometimes there's like ham steaks or like beef steaks in there.
You know what?
Sometimes tries it.
Shut up, Chantal. You know what I love about her? The fact that this witch, she comes on camera and she basically exploits and monetizes her addictions. She literally makes herself sick. And then she goes to a hospital with actual sick people who did not want to be sick. And then she comes back on camera and makes fun of what's going on with them. The nerve.
It was sharing one with the person barfing all the time. Oh no, I couldn't. Oh no. Imagine teardrop. There was somebody who was throwing up a lot though from a distance, like one of the distant rooms. But
and you know what, Chantal? I'm going to make you real mad by telling you this. You had to know that when you came to the hospital, you were the talk of the entire hospital. You know, the doctors and the nurses and the staff, they were all talking about you. Maybe word has gotten around that you're just an impossible case, that you go to the doctor and whatever the doctor tells you goes in one ear and out the other, and you keep having the high blood sugar and you don't give a doggone about your health. Basically, you're a waste of time and a waste of resources. This is why the Kuwaiti government, they're putting everything on lockdown. They're trying to hold certain resources for their citizens. And there you are as a tourist, wherever you go, whether it's Canada, the United States, or Kuwait, you're a burden on the healthcare system. You're a burden because you don't want to get better. You want to stay sick. You want everybody else to pay the check, to pay the bill, to take care of you. You don't care what it costs. You don't care if you're taking the resources away from other people. You don't care. It's all about you. Selfish. Very, 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 very selfish. Very selfish. All right, let's keep going. What else we got here? Besides her dirty room. Some things change and some things don't, right? Truth Seeker says, Foodie Beauty, she forgets about her sciatica. That's just proving us you're faking everything. Let me just go ahead and play the clip from Truth Seekers.
But it never works out that way. I also have sciatica. I forgot about that.
So you forgot about your sciatica. Trust me, if you have sciatica, you don't forget about it. You make the slightest move and you remember pretty quickly. Did you forget about your sciatica, or did you forget that you lied about sciatica?
Stupid.
And that move she just did right there, if you had sciatica for real, you can't do that. You can't get up that quickly. Because when you sit down, you got all that pressure on that nerve, and then you try to get up. Ooh, it hurts. And my computer's acting all funny. Sorry about that. Let's keep going. And you certainly don't laugh when you have sciatica because it hurts.
But it never works out that way. And it's not good for my health right now. Like, I can't eat it, you know? So, yeah, I haven't had a fast food or anything like that. So now I'm starting to feel better. I was exactly in this position not long ago. Remember, I lost 15 kgs again.
You know what? Like, shut up, Chantal. Shut up. This is a cycle. Is it not? It's a cycle. This woman will eat herself sick, really sick. And then when she gets too sick, she'll run to a hospital. She'll run to a clinic. They'll pump fluids into her and insulin to bring her blood sugar down. They'll give her medication. They'll get her to a place where she's just a little bit more stable. And then what does Chantal do? She'll go home and wreck herself all over again. Every time you turn around, this is what happens. Every time she goes home to Canada, she'll go straight to a buffet and allegedly make herself sick.
They speak English. It depends. When we would go to like an Arabic clinic, like the government one, the doctors, some of them didn't speak any English, but at the hospital they all did. Do you miss pizza lots? Sometimes I miss like the times we had together, but we keep in touch, Brenda. Like,
no, they don't. She doesn't talk to Pete. She doesn't talk to him.
do you have makes a sandwich?
Okay, never mind. We're moving on. Okay, Perfectly Imperfect says, I haven't been able to have a sick day in 21 years. Always laundry be done, dinner to be made, things to be found. Kristen says she has such a great personality. Of course, Salah loves her. Let's watch.
How do I not care about my effing health? I've spent time in the hospital. I have appointments I'm going to. I lost 17 kg. Can you shut your mouth or be blocked? Thank you.
And the attitude. And giving the attitude while eating out of a bowl, that's way too big. Chantal, why did you choose that bowl? I'm just asking questions over here. Why do you eat off a serving platter? Why do you choose bowls that are way too big? You do realize that whenever you drink out of a glass that's oversized, or a plate that's oversized, or a bowl that's oversized, when you have oversized things like that, you will automatically overeat just because you'll put too much in it and you'll eat too much, you'll drink too much. Is that for the feedy people? I think it's for the feedy people. I think it's stuff that they want to see.
Thank you. What the fuck more do you want from me?
The language on this woman today.
Vegetable lentil soup I made even though I'm still sick. Seriously, I don't get it.
Okay, so this post from Yup Yup says, is this true, Foodie? Are you lying about your insulin? Okay, so this is from the Kiwi Farms. And somebody says, according to Chantal, they gave her a long-acting insulin in a pen to be taken at night. This in concert with oral metformin. The box of syringes would indicate that's not the whole truth. See, Chantal, this is why you should not lie. You get caught. The thing, listen, I'm not a diabetic. I don't take insulin. I don't know a whole lot about diabetes. I know certain things. So anybody out there who has experience with diabetes or being a diabetic or taking insulin and metformin, you guys can chime in on this because you guys have all the knowledge and I don't. I'll be the first to say I don't know a whole lot about the subject, but I'd be very happy to hear from those who know more than I do. Hold on a minute. I'm not in the right place. My bad. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Let me get to the right place. Sorry about that, y'all. We're getting there. I was on the wrong page. Kristen says, Chantal took her insulin on stream. No alcohol swabs in sight and no sharp container. Currently, she says she's been instructed to take Genumet pill twice during the day and 5 units of insulin in the evening, but she says she wishes they'd switch her to insulin only. You know what's making me angry about that, y'all? I don't know about in other countries, but insulin in the United States is highly, highly expensive. There are people that have diabetes, they need the insulin, and they're very responsible with their health, and they're very responsible with taking their insulin. But it is expensive over in the United States. In other countries, it may be of a lower price. But here's this person, Chantal. She's taking insulin that really could go to somebody else that might need it more. And what are her plans for the insulin? To use it the same way that she's used the metformin to basically manage her B moments. She's not interested in her health. She's not interested in managing her diabetes the right way. It's all about just keeping things going for the sake of content on her channel. And that's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Mo Translate says she's a danger to herself. This is unreal. You can't just inject yourself with more insulin just to eat junk food. You don't up the dose of your medications without consulting with a doctor. So let's watch the clip, courtesy of Kristen.
I'm not going to go on more insulin. Like, what am I going to do? Be one of those people who takes insulin, injects more and more just so you can eat a friggin' large pizza?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Yes, because that's what she did with the metformin. She even said before she would start her meal, she would take her pills. Why would she take her pills before her meal? Because she knew she was about to eat a crap ton of carbs and make her blood sugar spike, and she was hoping the pills will kind of reduce that. So you don't think it's going to happen with the insulin too? Yeah, it will.
That's exactly what you'll do. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that counting sheet.
Yeah, always the fine print with this one. No, I'm not doing that on camera. She'll do it off camera though. We just won't know. We won't see.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. That I'm like, what if I wanted to eat like junk food? Like, I'd have to inject insulin. Like, okay, now I can eat. Like, that's so.
There was a confession. It's already in the works. It's already a plan. So she gets the urge at night to have a B moment. This is her way of getting away with it. She's always looking for a way to get away with things. Like, I want to do it wrong, but rather than stop herself from doing it wrong, she's going to find a workaround. So before, she was using the pills and taking way too many of them and way too high of dosage just to do all those mukbangs. And now she's planning to just go nuts with the insulin. That's really dangerous and stupid, Chantal.
No, but so messed up.
It is messed up, but you're a messed up person, so we expect nothing less from you. Queen of WTF says her sugar went up 3 numbers higher after her insulin injection. You know what you have to do, cutie, and how to eat. You just don't want to because it makes you uncomfortable. But getting healthy isn't comfortable and takes work. But hey, it's your life. So let's watch the clip.
I seriously want to cry. I'm so frustrated right now. Like, so frustrated. Maybe the peach. Like, I can't eat anything at all with, like, just basically broccoli and fucking steamed fish, right? That's all I have to eat.
So why do I have a feeling she's not going to take the insulin? Like, she's going to have some moments of frustration and not being able to have her B moments. And she's going to say, screw the insulin. I'm going to do what I want. No one and nothing's going to tell me what to do. If I want a burger, I want a burger. Chantal, you're a diabetic. You got to watch your blood sugar. You do. Yup says, quote, if I don't get pleasure from eating, then what's the freaking point? That's the food addict talking. That's the addiction talking. If I don't get pleasure from eating, then what's the freaking point? Well, the point is maybe you should find your pleasure and your joy somewhere else instead of relying on food to give it all to you. Because honestly, that's not food's job, is to give you love or happiness or fill up the empty spaces in your soul. Food's only job is it tastes good, but its job is to give you energy to go out in the world to experience life. You use it as escape. You use it as a form of escape and to fill up the empty time that you have on your hands and to calm yourself down when you're sad and you're upset and you're lonely. You use it for way too much. It's wearing too many hats. You've got too many emotional anchors on food, Chantal, and you got to get them off. But I know that my words of wisdom, even though it may reach your ears, they're not going to go inside your ears. I'm just saying, I am saying, that's your problem. That's your hang up. You're married to food the way you wish you were married to Salah. Food has been your eternal partner, and you will not part with it, even though it's doing you a lot of damage. It's taken over your life. It's consuming you. You don't care. You know it's a problem. You know what you need to do, and you're not willing to do it. So don't expect sympathy from the rest of us, okay? Okay, so I think we're all caught up with the Twitter stuff. So let's move on to the actual live itself. Okay, so let me just go ahead and get out of here. All right. And we're going to, this live just went on for way too long, bro. Way too long. Way too long. So we're just going to do a lot of skipping ahead. Look, 3 hours, 13 minutes. Insane. Insane. And I don't want to see you eat. Screw you. We're cutting out the food. We're starting here at 12 minutes in because I don't want to see her eat. Executive decision. We're not watching Chantal eat. We're listening to her talk. All right, let's go.
There's a lot of people who are not normal. They're cuckoo, cuckoo, checked out, you know. Brianna, no, there's no point. There's no point in even trying. Raining here. Where's Zainab? Hi, Sarah. Hey, I'm doing well. How are you? Okay, Tracy, just wait. Hold on a second, guys.
You know, I can tell the difference of her going to the hospital and them giving her diuretics and basically making her less puffy. I can see the difference in her face. It's not as puffy. But I'm sure that puffiness will be back because she's going to eat what she wants and the salt and the sodium and all that stuff. She's going to be really, really puffy. But look at the difference in her face. Just from a hospital visit and them giving her the right fluids and the diuretics to reduce the puffiness. Like the difference in her appearance.
Okay, Tracy, I'm here. Y'all need to get off her ass about her health. She will do what the doctors tell her to do, not what people on the internet tell her to do. Yeah, 100%. All right, so only subscribers can message now, and there's a freaking time limit. There's like a 5-minute delay, 5-second delay. Haunted location. Where did I go, Esther? Can you show us the beach? Like right now? It's still rather not. It's just basically tomato, lentils, carrot, onion, garlic. Oh, I am. Damn it, Amber. I don't want to croak either. Trust me.
Oh, yes, you do. Chantal, I'm not being hateful here. I'm a reasonable, sensible person. And I'm just speaking my opinion, and that's all. I have never in my life met anyone or seen anyone like you that wanted the Grim Reaper to visit them so bad and so quickly. Like, for some reason, you want to meet the Grim Reaper. You're dying for a coffee date of some sort with the Grim Reaper. You're doing mukbangs at the speed of light. You're eating 5, 6, 7,000 calories a day. You're abusing your medication to manage your B moments. You eat high amounts of carbs and sugar right before bed, which could mean a medical event in your sleep. You're doing everything wrong for your health. And you are sick and you know you're sick, and yet you're not helping yourself. And I'm not getting a sense from you that you give a crap. I'm not seeing anything about you in your words, in your actions, in your demeanor, where you're having that wake up moment and you're realizing you're right on the edge and you want to back away from the edge. You don't want to go over the edge. I think you're right on the edge of that cliff and you don't care if you stand there, if you fall. You don't care what happens to you. Just you're going to let whatever happen happen. I don't hear anything in you where you are saying, wow, I've gone too far. I've done too much and I need to stop. Like that attitude just is not there.
Good day, Marquita. Love a good soup. Kelly, yes. You're a subscriber. Fresh salads. I had some cucumbers earlier because I did a small grocery order. So I got some veg and yeah. A nice soup on a humid day. There's nothing wrong with my teeth. Go eat shit. You're the one above that. Oh my gosh, Tracy, I can't scroll all the way up like that. You have to repost it. Oh. Hello, Lynn.
So much for her sciatica. She just did one of these in her chair. Can't do that with sciatica. Oops.
How do you feel about Yaba throwing a funeral? How about she throws a funeral for her late baby daddy who was a drug addict and left.
You know what? Listen, leave other people's families out of this. If you're mad at Yaba, you're mad at Yaba. If Yaba's going to be mad at you, let her be mad at you. But why bring other people's families or kids into it? They got no part in this. They're not on YouTube. Why talk about them? Why you got to go low like that, Chantal? Stop. Stop it. Stop it. You don't want anybody talking about your mom or your family, but yet you feel free to talk about somebody else's family and something bad that happened with that person. And by the way, and you're mad at Miss Yaba. Why are you mad at her? She's on her channel, doing her thing, speaking her mind, her opinions, which we're all free to do. Why are you mad at her? You went over there and you lurked, didn't you? See, you shouldn't lurk, should you? Should leave well enough alone.
2 kids alone with a stepmother who thinks they're unfortunate looking. How about that?
The golden rule: leave the kids out of it. They got no part in this. It is wrong to attack children. It is wrong to bring them into this. And you should not go after a child's looks, Chantal. How dare you? How dare you bring the kids into this and talk about their looks? When you're over there looking like the Michelin man, okay? With your angry bird brows. Yes, you. That is you. You want to bring looks into this. You want to go there. You want to go that low. Hey, look in the mirror, ma'am. What do you see? What do you really see when all the filters are gone? When you're not staring into your phone? What do you really see when nobody else is around? Are you okay with what you see? Are you comfortable in your own skin? Because I don't think you are. So maybe not go after other people's looks.
Degenerate people. I'll be alive longer than you, bitch. Cabbage Patch. Thank you. Hi, Kanita.
I'm terribly sorry to inform you of this, Chantal, but I seriously doubt that. I seriously doubt that you're going to outlive Yaba. I think Yaba is much healthier than you, much more active than you. You know, if you wanted to use your anger and your defiance intelligently and to your advantage, what you could do is say, you know what? I'm really going to show these reaction channels. I'm going to get myself together. I am going to exercise. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get myself all the way together. And that would be a positive way to flip the middle finger to your advantage. But you're not that smart. You always use your anger and your rage stupidly versus intelligently to your advantage. It's always a disadvantage versus an advantage. This is why you're not at the head of the class. This is why you're all the way at the back in the corner, not learning anything.
Please never stop. I'm trying not to. I need lip gloss. Hi, Lois. You people are ignorant. Tammy Slayton had a fucking trach because she couldn't breathe.
Okay, here we go. We're about to get it started, y'all. She's about to do the whataboutisms. And the whataboutism for today with Chantal is she's about to bring up Tammy Slayton, who was of a really large size, who was in really bad health, but Tammy was really severe, but she got the help and she did the work and she's gotten results and she's much better off. But Chantal is looking at someone like Tammy, who was that big, who was that sick, and saying, if somebody that big and that unhealthy can do it, then I can do it. Yeah, maybe you could. But the problem is you're not getting the help and you're not doing the work. So how are you going to get the same results, Chantal? How? How are you going to get similar results if you're not putting the work in? Not possible.
And she turned her life around. And you're going to try to predict when people are going to live or die? Well, I'm on the mend, so guess what?
You're not mending. You're not mending. You came to Kuwait and you weren't taking the diabetic medications. It's been 2 years. Where are we now? We are taking the pills and we've got insulin. So your health is not improving?
Yeah. Frig. My husband always says that to me. Rebbe. Oh, hi, Rebbe. It's true.
Okay, now this was an interesting comment that Chantal made, because I guess I missed it by cutting out the food portion. Brenda says, what did you mean when you said you were surprised by how Western the hospital was? Yeah, what did you mean by that?
It is so hot here in Kuwait right now.
Why are you complaining about the heat when you're inside with the AC? Shut up.
I don't know the temperature. You too, Sea Roller. Bye. This table. Wake him up. Yes, it does worry me. Light. That's why I went to the hospital. No, I danced around for glee. My husband is an Ozempic. His A1C went down, but his weight loss resistant. Oh, really, Vera? Hey, Kina Bear. Hi. Lauren Smith. I have no idea. I don't know. Seems that most of your haters are people who are incapable of taking care of their kids, or, as a matter of fact, capable to even take care of themselves. Yet they come here ASAP when you go live to talk shit. Exactly. That's why I tell them to F off.
And you know what? We're called the haters. All of us that have the opposing opinions, those of us that are looking at Chantal seeing how she's on YouTube, abusing the platform, using the platform to support all of her obsessions and her addictions and keep them going, and look for enablers that will basically crowdfund everything, and how wrong it all is. We're the haters. We're just pointing out the obvious wrong of all of it. But what about the people in her audience? The ones that know that she's a food addict, and they talk about food with her, and they keep her mind on food. What about those people? What about the feedy people in her audience that they're asking when the next mukbang is? Or can you do a dessert mukbang when she's a diabetic? Are those people not the real haters? Because they see how sick she is and how sick she's been, and they're pretty much promoting her to get more sick? Yeah, I think those are the real haters. I really do. I think Chantal wants her hug box. She wants those yes men. She wants those people in her audience to agree with her bad habits and her bad behaviors and her addictions and fund her addictions. She doesn't want anybody else telling her no, telling her that's not good for her, telling her to go to inpatient to get therapy. She doesn't want to hear truth. She doesn't want to hear reality. She doesn't hear what's on the other side. She wants to stay on the side she's on, and the side that she's on is toxic. She spent 8 years creating this whole toxic machine to feed all of her addictions and obsessions. And she's not about to break that machine down.
Beauty bite. Ew, it's probably hot out there too. I don't know, Ezra. I can't just put myself on medications, but this is the ones the doctors put me on for now. So yeah, but I don't know. The barbecue sauce. What do you mean? Thank you, lyrics. You don't have. Oh no. Yeah, if you don't have AC, you must be hot. Like what the hell? People who live in the reality? What reality? All they do is make up shit.
Oh, wait.
According to them,
How do we make up stuff? When we put on her live stream or her video, you guys can see the video, you can hear her, you can see her. We're playing the video and we're giving our opinions. What are we making up? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I'm supposed to be kicked out of Kuwait right now, dumbass. What reality? What reality?
You know what, Chantal? You should be kicked out of Kuwait. You really should, because you're over there pretty much living in Kuwait. You're just a tourist. You shouldn't have stayed that long. And I know why you're over there. One, because you got a whole lot of money that you owe in Canada to the tune of what, $60,000, $70,000. And here's the crazy thing. Had you played your cards right back in the Natter era, you could have paid off all your doggone debt and not had another bankruptcy and running from the tax man and running all the way to another country to get away from the tax man. Could have paid all that up and nobody would have bothered you. But you spent all that money on everything else but what you should have. But you're basically hiding out in Kuwait. And you're lucky that you haven't been kicked out yet. Yet. But things are changing in Kuwait. The regulations and the rules now. Looking for people that violate and break the rules. You're staying far too long, madam. You are a tourist. You are not a resident. You should not be living most of your time there. You should be coming back to Canada 6 months out of the year at least, and you're not doing that. You're running from your problems. When running from problems never solves them. You solve them, they're not a problem anymore. You run from them, they will be there for you when you get back. You know, that's just how it works. If there's a pothole in the road, you can walk up to it, you can yell at it. You can scream at it. You can hop over it. But if you fill up the pothole, it's not a pothole anymore. So maybe solve the problem versus running from it.
The reality that they can't even realize themselves. You're going to tell me Yaba's in fucking reality? She's friggin' heifer and hides herself with a microphone. Give me a break. She looks like a Cabbage Patch in her 30s.
Ma'am, you talk about fat shaming and fat phobia. What are you doing right now? You are a super morbidly obese woman who's 500 pounds, and you're going to talk about somebody else's weight, no matter what it is? No, ma'am. Please have a seat. Your argument is invalid. Whatever it is, it's invalid. You don't have the right to talk about anybody else's weight.
Sodium, and quit coming for me. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, you are. Goodbye. You're clearly a dumbass. What do you mean? I know, and I know, and you know I don't. Don't tell me what I know. Get out of here.
And by the way, Yaba showed herself on camera recently. She looked fine. So what are you talking about?
Seriously. I'll rage and swear if I want. I don't care how it makes me look. Whatever. You asked me, that's my opinion. It's a community of dumb fat people who make fun of fat people, bully other fat people.
Y'all,
that's exactly.
You know what? If you're a reactor, reacting has nothing to do with age, has nothing to do with your weight. You can just sit in front of a camera and talk and share your opinions. That's what reacting is. But even if every reactor were overweight, chubby, obese, super morbidly obese, again, Chantal, can you criticize when you're 500 pounds? And don't tell me you're not, because I know you are, bitch. You were almost 400 pounds when you were with BB. Your last true weigh-in, you were 377 pounds. You got on the scale, you showed the number. That was back in 2018. Anybody that can look at that piece of video and look at you now can easily say you've gained well over 100 pounds, closer to 2. So you put on quite a bit of weight. So even if the reactors were all big, which we're not, a lot of us are not that big, but even if we were, you got nothing to say. It's not about weight. Reacting is not about weight. You can look at me now, Chantal. Do I look obese? I'm not. Girl, I'm 53 years old. I just got through biking about 6 miles today in like 90 plus degree weather. Don't you wish you could do that? Let's see you do that. I bet you wouldn't even get not even like half a mile before you give up. So stop talking about weight. Stop talking about appearance. Trying to poke at the reactors. It ain't going to work.
Exactly what it is. And make up stupid shit. And try to think when people are going to die, waiting for people to die. You think I'm going to be nice to these people? Excuse me? Yeah, I don't.
I'm not, listen, I'm not waiting for you to die, Chantal. I think you are waiting for you to pass away. Honestly, that's my honest opinion. Not said in a hateful way, just being said. I think you've honestly given up on life, on yourself, on everything. You've given up. You're sitting down in the grass and you're saying, I quit. You're not trying for anything. You're not working towards anything. You don't have any goals. There's nothing you want to achieve. You just said, I quit. I'm at the end of the line. I can go no further. I don't want to go any further. And that's it. And that's all. End of story. So I'm going to start calling your mukbangs snuff bongs. Because they're basically, it's a snuff film in slow motion. You are unaliving yourself with food every single time you sit down and do a mukbang. You know it's not good for you. You know it's not good for your health. You know how bad your health is, and yet you still do them. So we're not waiting for you to pass away, but I think you might be. Honest opinion, I think you're done with life. I don't think you want to live. You're not interested in life. You're not interested in going outside the door and meeting people and doing things and living the life that you always talk about. You want to stay in your human hamster cage, in the air conditioning, eat your food, and what will be, will be.
He's sleeping right now, Rosalia. It's self-defense, Nixie. It's not offensive. It's defensive. Yeah. Oh yeah, Keenan Bear. You're not modded. Okay. Can you kick out all the stupid fucking assholes? Thank you. That snowflake guy thought Yabba was you.
And you know what? I'm going to bring something up. I remember back in the day when Chantal used to have full-on meltdown rages. Oh, they were YouTube gold. Just full-on meltdown rages. It was glorious. Like she had the fire in her belly and the fire in her eyes and just going off and going off and going off. Those were the days. Now here she is in a live stream. And yeah, she's a bit snarky. And yeah, she's using profanity. But it's nothing serious. I remember back in the day when she was raging, we'd all be like, Chantal's raging, let's go. Not anymore. Because even the rages are boring.
What's wrong with looking like me? I'm sorry. Like, I find I'm prettier than her in the face. I don't care.
Personal opinion, just my opinion, I think Yaba is prettier. That's just my opinion. So I think you're wrong.
Yeah, Tracy, lay it down hard. I find my channel fine, Lyric, when I look it up. That's weird. Cabbage Patch is actually accurate. I'm human, I'm allowed to be mad, and I'm not going to apologize for anything. I don't care. I'm not going to apologize.
You know what, Chantal? I think I've got you figured out. I really do. I think I got it. You're a miserable person. Been miserable for years. You're full of self-loathing and self-frustration. You want so much more for yourself, and yet you're unwilling to work for it. You want it handed to you. You want someone to give it to you. You want that luxurious life. You want to be somebody. You want to be a celebrity, yet you're not working for it. You want to be famous, but now you're infamous. And you will always be infamous just because of the image that you cultivated for yourself over the last 8 years. But you got all that self-frustration and all that self-loathing and self-hate just bubbling like a cauldron inside of you. You don't like yourself. You really don't like yourself. But you won't admit to yourself that you don't like yourself and change what you don't like to where you'll be happier. Instead, all that anger and that rage, you need a target. So you target the reactors and the reaction channels, trying to use them as punching bags because there are people on the internet that are not in front of you physically that you have to deal with. So this weird cycle continues of you hurt yourself, you do this self-harm to yourself, and you won't stop doing that self-harm to yourself. You're embroiled in your addictions and your obsessions. You're keeping that wheel turning, which leads to more misery, which leads to more rage and more frustration. And you got to take it out on somebody. And then when you take it out on us in whatever way you choose, that doesn't really alleviate what's really wrong, does it? It really, really doesn't. And you stay miserable all the time.
Apologize for what I eat, for failing on a diet. Fuck everybody. And I'm not going to apologize for defending myself. I don't care. Hi, my morning bees. Thanks, damn it, Amber. To live, yeah, because I'm like, well, Salah's already fallen asleep, but I was going to say we have to go to bed early because my appointment's pretty early, you know? Yeah, Laura, I'll beat whenever I want. Oh, it's the reality of it. Meanwhile, you're gonna tell, you're gonna listen to someone who's like in the 300 pounds. You're gonna listen to someone who's overweight trying to tell another fat person what their reality is. Stuff it. Another one's a friggin' doesn't even have a neck anymore and chain smokes. You think I'm gonna give a shit what these
See,
people?
there's no logic with Chantal. So now she's trying to say you have to be at a certain weight to react to her. If you're a smaller person, you're not allowed to react to her because she's a bigger person. But if you are overweight, you still can't react to her. You see how that works? So, what is the perfect person to react to you, Chantal? What weight does the person have to be, even though reacting is not about weight? Can you let us know? Like, are there qualifications? Do we have to send in a resume to get the job?
Say, and then they're planning my funeral. Excuse me, reality check for yourself too. That's all I'm saying. Thanks, Real Frog. And I answered your question, Nixie. That's it. So yeah, um, what was I gonna say?
Nothing important.
I don't remember. Natalie, no, you're not a member. No, no Ozempic, no Manjaro, no.
You know, I have to wonder. This is not me being morbid, it's just an honest thought here. You know, they say that birds of a feather flock together. So I have to wonder how many people in Chantal's audience, how many of those people have issues within themselves? Maybe mental issues, maybe physical issues, maybe issues with food. That because Chantal brings all kinds of stuff to her channel and talks about all kinds of stuff, that's why they stay with her. Because they feel like they're part of some kind of online tribe, if you will. Just maybe there are people in our audience that they're, that broken in some way or hurting in some way. I have to wonder if Chantal were no longer on YouTube, if some of those people, because they can't go to Chantal and use her as a form of escape or diversion from focusing on their own issues, if some of them would focus on their own issues if she weren't around.
Yeah, I know Reiki number. You know Ilana, that Shakara Transformations bodybuilder girl. She's trying to do this stuff, and she eyeballs Yabs at like 370, which is reasonable based on her photos. Yeah, she's definitely obese. Like she has no, she like has chipmunk cheeks. I don't know where she did. She has the nerve to. Okay, chins. Imagine a freaking full-grown adult woman, mother, calling like spending her career calling somebody chins. What the f kind of person are you? You're an idiot. Like stop inbreeding. Stop it. Your
There's no inbreeding here.
family needs to stop inbreeding. You get dumber and dumber.
According to Chantal, everybody in the United States, we're all a bunch of hillbillies and there's all kinds of inbreeding going on. Meanwhile, I've heard about her having a funkle. So be careful with that insult, Chantal.
Anyways, people are dumb, and this is bothering me. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, I think all this started when someone asked me what I think of people planning my funeral. I don't what kind of answer am I supposed to say to that? I mean, really, like, didn't people not realize how stupid and sick that is, or what? Like,
I'm not planning your funeral, Chantal. But serious question. If something did happen to you and you stepped off the mortal coil, if there was an actual funeral for you, would anybody show up? Because not being mean here, but I think no one would show up. Every single person, every single living thing that you've ever had contact with, you've hurt. And some of you even abused. Would anybody show up to your funeral and cry over your casket? Would they bring you flowers? Would they say some last words? Or would the people that knew you, would they breathe a sigh of relief because you're no longer around to be a problem and a burden? I know that sounds harsh to say, but you got to think about that. Like the impact that you've had on people around you, the way you've hurt them and the way you made them feel. You're walking through life with no regret, no remorse, no empathy, thinking about yourself. You've hurt people, you've hurt animals. Is there one single living being that can step forward on your behalf as a witness and say, my life was made better for knowing Chantal Marie? She's a kind person. She's a lovely person. She did this for me. She didn't ask anything in return. She was great. Is there one single person in your lifetime anywhere that could do that? I don't think so. I think you live an entire life of evil, self-centered, narcissistic selfishness. And if something happens to you, no one's going to cry a tear for you.
I'm feeling a lot better, actually. I don't feel tired. I think I took my antibiotic. I have to take it in another like 7 hours. And I have to take my insulin, which I'm kind of nervous for, actually. I haven't done it before. I used to inject Ozempic. I don't know, it's something. Like they told me how to, but yes, inbreeding, hillbilly inbreeding. When you were gone, they had to dig deep and find.
She assumes all Southern people are hillbillies and that we all do inbreeding. Really?
2.0 because they just can't live without.
You know, speaking of Southern people, Chantal, I come from a Southern family. And my daddy told me something I never forgot. He said there's two kinds of sense in this world. There's book sense and there's walking around sense. And you can do without the book sense for the most part, but you cannot do without the walking around sense, the common sense. You don't have walking around sense at all.
Yeah, they're trying to find someone else to pick on. How about you turn the camera around and pick on your effing self? Because you're a whole fucking cow and a half. You don't realize it. You're the biggest cows. You're dumb. I think her foot's gonna fall off. Wow, that's so inspirational content right there. You really make me. How did people even not find that funny beyond the age of 6? Seriously, people are dumb. I can't handle it. I get enraged by dumb people. If you haven't noticed, dumb hypocrites. I hate it. I hate it.
Then don't watch her stream, stupid. You know, if you don't like FFG, if you don't like Yaba, don't watch them. Don't go to their streams and lurk. Don't go in their comment sections. Heck, let's really broaden the scope. Stay away from all the reaction channels, all the clip channels. Stay off Twitter. Stay off TikTok. Stay in your own doggone lane. Then you won't get so mad.
Your time is over. Good. Goodbye.
If our opinions and our feelings don't matter, then don't pay attention to them. You just do your thing. We'll do our thing. It's just that simple.
I'm just here to be an asshole. Good. I feel like one right now. It's disgusting. They are. They're disgusting. Hey, Robin. Anyways, it's the same. It'll always be the same old friggin', you know? Mm.
And here's this idiot, Paula Perry, saying, don't go near Florida. What's wrong with Florida? I grew up there in Tampa. What are you talking about? A lot of good people in Florida. What do you mean? I'm offended. Because I'm a Floridian, doggone it. Trying to insinuate that Florida's full of hillbillies. What are you talking about? You shut up over there. You don't know what you're saying.
Don't go near Florida. I don't plan on it now, but you know.
You know, that's right, Chantal. Don't go near Florida. You couldn't handle the gators. And you certainly couldn't handle the humidity, girlfriend. Let me tell you, Florida humidity is legendary. You're struggling over there in that desert heat, that dry heat, girl. Humid heat, it's like being in the middle of a sauna in the summertime. You got that moist heat. Ooh, it'll throw you for a loop.
That I ate more. No, I haven't really had much of an appetite this whole time I've been sick. Hey Tiara. So then
She's lying. Let me tell you why she's lying and how she's lying. She's a food addict. If she's sitting there calmly with no appetite, she'd be freaking out for food, because the bee monster does not just shut down because you're sick. It's still there. She came on, she just ate something. She probably ate something before the stream started, and that's why she could eat so little on stream. Otherwise, she'd be ravenous and grabbing at that food.
like I've been eating just like small amounts.
Eyes.
So that's all I can really stomach right now. Actually, even the I don't know. I think the cheese might have been a little much. I haven't really been eating cheese, but that's okay.
She'll be back to doing. Hold on, shut up, Chantal. She'll be back to doing mukbangs in a few days. Watch. I mean, that's how she makes her money. The feedy people expect things. She's got to deliver things to keep them around. She'll be doing the mukbangs.
Yeah. They've exposed themselves to be evil and cruel, and for what reason? They're dysfunctional as fuck. Just look at their lives. Yeah, exactly. They always talk about how boring and I am, and I never do anything, and I'm lazy,
You are, though.
and I don't go out. Really? Where's your fucking Thailand vlog? Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought. Shut up.
Chantal, what are you trying to prove? Yeah, okay. So you lived in Canada, which you didn't see much of. Then you went to Cuba, which you also didn't see much of because you went to a resort and stayed there. Then you went to Thailand. You preferred to not be seen. You didn't see much unless you had to. Now you're in Kuwait. What have we seen of Kuwait? So you've been to 4 different places and you didn't fully explore each one. It makes no sense to me to travel. And when you travel and you're spending all the money and all the time and all the airfare to get there, and you're not making the most of it. It makes no sense to travel just to eat fast food when all you got to do is stay home and eat the fast food in your own hometown and save yourself some money. So don't sit there and flex on travel. Just because you went somewhere doesn't mean you did something. You didn't do anything but eat and complain. Every place it was the same. You eat and complain. You've complained about Kuwait. You complained about Canada, complained about Cuba, all that. You didn't go out and explore and do the content you could have done.
Go anywhere. You know how many times I've traveled back and forth between Canada and the Middle East? Something none of you could ever do. You would cry like a baby.
You know what? You cry like a baby just considering what I did today. Let's see you go biking in all this heat, Miss Ma'am. Get your butt on a bike and take a bike ride. I bet you can't. I bet you won't. Go out and see things, do things. I did that today. You want to flex on your travel? I'll flex on my exercise. How about that?
Baby, trust me. Yeah, Amber's been around a long time. I remember. No, I have to friggin' after I eat, I like to brush them, but karma will bite. I know. I'm patient. And if they're hoping that I die, that's because they're planning my funeral, like people were saying, you're gonna be disappointed. But if I do die, you're screwed too.
Not really. We'll go on. Trust me, we will. There was a YouTube before you. There'll be a YouTube after you.
Because yeah, yabba scabba doo doo. Who's gonna feed your kids?
I'm sure she'll feed her kids just fine. Where did she get this impression she feeds all of us and she pays all of our bills? YouTube don't pay that much.
Who have a stepmother who calls them unfortunate looking. Who's gonna
Stop. You know what, bitch? Stop it. Stop it. Stop calling somebody's kids unfortunate looking. That is cruel and unnecessary. You do not do that. You do not insult children that way. You do not put down children that way. Leave the fucking kids out of it. Leave them alone, Chantal. How dare you be a 40-year-old woman and come for children? You should be ashamed of yourself. Over there yelling and screaming about people bullying you, and yet here you are doing the lowest of the fucking low and insulting children and their looks. How dare you? How dare you? Stop it.
pay your rental house, the house that you rent? Who's gonna pay that? No more foodie beauty, Canadian pig money. Yeah, well, okay. So you better hope that I live a long time, asshole. I love when you get bitchy.
You know, she honestly assumes that none of us have jobs. That this is all we do. This YouTube is all we do. YouTube does not pay that much, like I said. A lot of us have jobs off of YouTube. We got things to do. We got lives to lead. Truth be told, Chantal, YouTube is all you've got. You couldn't go out and do a physical job. You couldn't even get a desk job. You can't sit at a desk for 8 hours a day and answer phones and do scheduling or do typing or anything like that. You're not nice to people. Physically, you're at a point where you could not go out and get a regular job even if you wanted to. YouTube is all you've got. And yet, even though you may or may not know that, you're not grateful for it. You're not thankful for it. You're not thankful for the audience that you have that keep the money in your pocket to give you the freedom that you can do whatever you want with it. You take it for granted. You've taken everything for granted. 8 years on fucking YouTube. What have you got to show for it? Nothing. Had you played your cards right years ago, you could have had a lot. You could have, invested your money in a business, bought a car, bought a house, set yourself up, had be in the best possible health, get your teeth done, whatever you want. Gone on vacations, live the life you talk about. But where did your money go? To useless men, to party favors, and food. You got nothing to show for. Not even a paid off, decent car. Nothing. You can't even look us in the face and say, yeah, I acted the fool on YouTube and I did all these outrageous, horrible things, but this is why. Look at what's behind me. I got all these assets. I got all this money in savings. You can't even say that. You got bad health. You got addictions that are unchecked. And you're at a point where you can't get a regular job. So you better hope the YouTube thing continues for you, because that's literally all you got left. And you know as well as I do that if you lose your YouTube, you lose everything else, including Salah, because he's just hanging around for the money.
I want to mukbang chili dogs and onion rings and tater tots and curly fries. Yum. No thanks. Barf. She'll just get back on government assistance. Is that what she was on before?
Oh, are we doing that now? Are we doing that now? Are you shaming people for being on government assistance? Girl, you better not. You just better not. You better stay away from that. You better back away from that, Chantal.
He's talking about someone's death is sick. Yeah, they all do that. I don't know. She looks like she's on her last leg. On Yo Mama's stream, one of her brain dead, stupid, moronic audience members was like, her mom should call a 8110 on her and have a doctor pick her up. Oh yeah, let's have a doctor from Canada come all the way to Kuwait and come and get me, a 40-year-old woman, and force me what to do. Yeah, sure. Darwin Award of the Year. Oh my god. Like, what the I can't, I can't even like be serious about it. Like, what?
Well, the
I
only
don't know.
reason why people said that, Chantal, is because you're not going to do what you need to do. And honestly, I think you need to be committed. You're a danger to yourself and you're a danger to others. Coming on YouTube and doing self-harm content and spreading misinformation, you are a danger to yourself and you're a danger to others. You're abusing the platform for purposes not intended. And you're not going to help yourself. So maybe somebody needs to step in somewhere. Okay, let's keep going.
A doctor from Canada come all the way to Kuwait and come and get me, a 40-year-old woman, and force me what to do. Yeah, sure. Darwin Award of the Year. Oh my god. Like, what the I can't, I can't even like be serious about it. Like, what? I don't know. I used to eat microwave cheese. Yeah. I'm a food addict and I have an eating disorder. I know it's hard to believe for people, or people don't have any idea, concept of what that is, but there's something called Google.
You know what, Chantal? I don't like how you use the food addiction as a fallback excuse to continue on with the addiction. You're blaming the addiction for being gluttonous with food. Notice she didn't use the term BED. She's saying, I have a food addiction. But she did not say, I have BED, and that's the reason. It is possible to be a food addict and not have BED. I honestly don't think Chantal has BED, although she's claimed to have it. People who have BED, they don't do the B moments in front of people. It's a source of shame and embarrassment. You normally do it in private, away from people. You don't want anyone to know. Chantal's very public with what she does. So, yes, she's a food addict. But just because you're a food addict does not mean it's the addiction's fault. You're the person with the addiction. You can also choose to fix the addiction and be in recovery. You're trying to use that as a fallback excuse of, oh, I'm a food addict, so it is what it is. And that's the way it is. That's the reason why I'm gluttonous and I'm catering to the feedy people and I'm doing all these mukbangs. It's not my fault. Forever the victim, aren't you, Chantal? Like nothing is your fault. It's somebody or something else's fault. Oh, I acted this way not because I'm a horrible person, but because of this over here. Chantal, I had BED for real. 6 years it took it to get in recovery because I couldn't figure it out. How do you stop something that you can't stop consuming? That was the hard part for me. But I figured it out. Why? Because I wanted to figure it out. I wanted to get on the other side of it. I did not want food to control my life, consume my life, take over, be a thing. So I was determined and I figured it out. You knew even before YouTube that you had a problem with food and you didn't seek treatment. You didn't go to inpatient. You didn't do anything. And all this time you've had money to do anything you needed to do to be healthy. But as someone that's had a similar food problem, I don't like how you're using that as a lame excuse to continue on being the way that you are. Oh, I'm a food addict and nobody understands. You guys don't get it. I get it. I get it. I've been through it and I don't accept it. If you develop an addiction, you can also get on the other side of it if you want to, if you fight hard enough. If you reach out to people, you let people know, you get the resources, you get the help, you can get on the other side. You don't lack determination, Chantal. You've got determination. It's just that you're using it the wrong freaking way. You're using your determination to keep on with it. You're finding ways to keep it going, to include it in your life. You are so hyper focused on keeping this thing going. You're trying to find sneaky ways to have B moments and get away with it. Even going so far as to abuse your medication. That medication is not for managing your diabetes, it's for managing your B moments. You're just trying to figure out, what medication do I have to take? How much insulin can I take? So I can eat gluttonously when I want to, because I don't want anything to stop me. You don't like restriction. You don't like anybody or anything telling you no, not even your own body. Your own body is screaming for help. You don't want to hear it. Despite all the pain you're in, all the misery you put yourself through, that bee monster is saying, don't listen to all of that. Listen to me. I'm in control. You wanted a Dom long ago, did you not, Chantal? You got one in your own head. That's your Dom. The bee monster is your Dom. It's telling you what to do. It's bossing you around. How do you feel about that, Miss Control Freak? How do you feel about an addiction controlling you, mastering you, telling you what to do, urging you to be miserable, to be in pain? How do you feel about that? You don't like anyone telling you what to do, but you're perfectly fine with an addiction telling you what to do, taking over your life, ruining you. You're okay with that? Okay, be okay with that. But as long as you're okay with that, don't complain.
No one knows when someone else is gonna die. Nobody. You're not God. Oh, thank goodness you're not God. Diabetic. Spicy Chantal. Yeah.
This really isn't spicy, Chantal. This isn't even salt and pepper Chantal spice. This is just her being annoyed. She heard something at the doctor she did not like. She does not like the fact that she's got to be on insulin now. And the doctor told her, you cannot sit there and take too much metformin because that's hurting you inside. That's doing damage. So the fix that she thought she found to continue to have B moments really isn't a fix. She was doing it. She thought she was smarter than everybody else. And then she found out how dumb she really was. That's why she's mad.
I suppose. But yeah. I guess I'm just bitchy today. I don't know. I hate those people. They're stupid and they're good for nothing.
Well, we don't like you either, so the feeling's mutual.
Seriously, they contribute like nothing but negative.
And you want to talk. Look what you're doing on your channel. By the way, YouTube, good job. Good job taking her channel away and then giving it back. Look what she did. This is the way she repaid your thanks. She made all kinds of promises to her viewers, to you. Oh, I'll do better. I promise I'll do better. Look what she's done since then. You took her channel away and then gave it back. And because you gave it back, she's been feeling untouchable ever since.
You should have made quesadillas or a grilled cheese sandwich for sugar alternatives. Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, you get used to it, I'm sure, after a point, you know? You woke up angry, Zainab. They point the finger at everyone else, but they're like super unhealthy. I'd like to see all their stats and labs. Exactly. Right? And their daily routine.
All of you beezers, you're so stupid. Some of you guys care about her, but some of you are just so stupid. Oh, they're all so unhealthy. Do I look unhealthy? Do I look as unhealthy as Chantal? No. No. Guarantee you a lot of the reactors were a lot healthier than Chantal. We can do a lot more.
What they eat. Honestly, do not think some people know how hard and painful to have a binge eating disorder trying to recover from the said disorder and have to lose weight for
Look,
health reasons.
shut up, Chantal. Yes, it is hard. When you have a food issue, it is hard. It's difficult. Like I said, it's one of those weird things that the one thing you're addicted to, you can't just push it completely away and never do it again. You got to keep consuming the food. So, how do you manage that? You go to therapy, you talk to people, you figure it out. She never figured it out. She doesn't want to. But there are lots of people that are food addicts and have gone through BED or other EDs that they're on the other side of it. They did the work. She doesn't want to do the work. She doesn't want to let go of food. Food is her constant companion and friend and comfort. And without food to be the comfort, the friend, and the love, what would be the replacement? I think one of the biggest tasks that Chantal would have is, since food cannot be her everything, what would replace the everything? Because nature hates a vacuum. What would she put in the empty hole that would give her just as much joy and happiness and comfort as food? That would be a huge task for her, one that she's not going to take on.
And of course, yeah, it's so hard. Cranktabulous. Ah. Okay, well, goodbye, kill face beats. See ya. No more fast food, no.
Can I tell you something, Chantal, just for your information? Exercise, as much as you are running away from it, exercise is wonderful. Even just something as simple as walking. You walk every day, it makes you feel good. You're getting out of the house, you breathe the fresh air, you can hear the birds, you get the sun on your face. Just simple walking for even just a short distance and back home, you wouldn't believe how much more different than you feel. I've been riding a bike for miles every day, and even in this summer heat, and I got to tell you, I can tell the difference in my body. My core feels tighter, my legs certainly feel tighter. I have more energy, I feel more up. It helps your mood. You're not as depressed. It helps to fight the depression. It's good for you. It's really good for you. While you're exercising, you may be sweating up a storm. You may be feeling really sweaty and bad, but then afterwards your body is tingling. It's a great thing. Highly recommended.
Mm-mm. I'm trying to eat just like normal, nutritious food.
Good luck with that.
Especially if I get like a second chance here. I don't know, maybe being more dramatic about it, but thank you, Blacks. I'll be okay, guys. I'm just venting. Sometimes, like, when people ask me about something, that's my opinion, and I like dumb people ignore people who are like dumb. They just enrage me, like, at how stupid they are sometimes.
You know the reason why she dumps on her audience and she dumps on YouTube? Because she has no friends. There's absolutely nobody that Chantal can call on the phone and just talk to heart away from YouTube. She doesn't have any friends. She's abused all of her friends. She's hurt all of her friends. She's lied to all of her friends. She's put herself in a place where there's no one that she can just sit down with a cup of coffee or just do a phone call and talk. Like, YouTube is literally her entire life. And she has her hug box, and they're going to agree with a lot of the things that she says, even if she's wrong. Even if she's just straight up hurting herself with the food in front of them, they're not going to say a word because they know she's got a hot temper and they don't want to get blocked. They're afraid of getting blocked. But so sad, Chantal, that you don't even have any real life friends to talk to about this crap.
Probably Rosalia. Yeah, you're right. You should try to make stuffed zucchinis and yogurt sauce. That sounds good, Kanita. Hi, Marbles. Uh, you have someone to watch while you work. No, I don't have a diuretic. Thanks, Natalia. That's nice of you. Cabbage soup with lots of chili powder? No, that's what like but I never imagined that reaction channels would be like that. Like unfortunately, the ones who are most on my ass are the dumbest. Like they're the dumbest.
You know what, Chantal? I'm going to take you back in time, like all the way back, girlfriend. I remember because I was there. I remember back in the day in your heyday. I came into knowing about you back when you were still with BB and you were about ready to move in with Pete at the villa. All the way back then. And you were cool with the reaction channels. You were absolutely cool. You didn't like them, but you weren't giving them a hassle because the way you figured it in your head, hey, any promotion is good promotion. Even if they're talking bad about me, my name is being spread all over YouTube. And you gave no one any flack. You know, you didn't strike anybody, no copyright complaints, no privacy complaints, nothing. You did your content. The reactors reacted to you. Yeah, they made channels and grew them like reacting to you. But then again, the side effect from that is that maybe you might get some viewers because of that. People just checking out your channel. But this was back in your heyday when you were making good money or starting on your way to making good money. And really, you owe the reactors a big thank you. You know that? As much as you hate all of us for speaking truth, as much as you hate us for calling you out on all of your lies each and every time, you owe us a thank you. All of us. Because there was a great period, even during the Natter era, where you were doing the edibles and you were practically incoherent on the edibles because you take way too much and you green out and you would be saying anything or doing anything and you were boring, and yet we somehow made you interesting. And you've been in Kuwait for 2 years, not doing anything interesting, not really going anywhere, and yet we still work our magic. So much resentment towards the reaction channels. So much resentment. Did it ever occur to you, bitch, that the reason why YouTube gave your channel back, could it be because of the reaction channels? They didn't want to mess with an ecosystem that was making them money? Yeah, I think that might be it, because it's not like your channel's making them $1 million. That could be it. I mean, they're a company. They're all about making their money. The more, the merrier. It's not your channel making them money the most. It's all the reaction channels and clip channels put together. All of their memberships, all of their views, super chats. You put all that together, it's a huge pile of money for YouTube, and they're not going to give that up. I bet they've made a decision about you, that you're going to do what you're going to do to your body, and they're just going to let the train roll on the track until it can no longer on its own. But they're not going to put a stop to it. They're going to make every dime, dollar, and nickel off this thing that they can for as long as they can. It's not an emotion thing. It's a money thing. So you can criticize the reaction channels all you want, but let's be real and let's be truthful for a minute, Chantal. You are a person, your number 1 and 2 addictions are food and attention. Food and attention are tied for first place. You need attention. You're not getting attention in your personal life. You're not getting attention from Salah. You're sitting in that human hamster cage, eating yourself stupid, but you need attention. You want to be the center of attention all the time. Where are you getting it? The reaction channels. Where are you getting it? Girl world. And you can't stand when the attention goes elsewhere, when the reactors start talking about other people, reacting about other people. That scares you to lose that attention. Because what else would you have left? Who else is there to give you attention? Nobody. So why don't you just calm all the way down and stop being so resentful of the reaction channels? Because if the reactors went away, if let me just change that. If they reacted to somebody that was not you, if somebody came along that was interesting, and all of us focused on that channel is going to grow. Guarantee you that. Their channel is going to grow quick. They're going to get a lot of promotion. A lot. And all the attention is going to go off you. And all that yelling and screaming that you've been doing about the reactors are hateful and they're stealing my views. And if they weren't around reacting to me, I could make so much money. When we start reacting to somebody else, you're going to find out. You'll find out that what you thought would happen is not going to happen. That the increase in views is not happening. Because the people that are in girl world that go the reaction channels, they don't like you. And they're never going to like you. They have a lot of reasons not to like you. And they're not going to give you a direct view. And they're not going to buy a membership. And they're not going to send you a super chat. And they're not going to buy a cameo. They're not going to go to your channel and put money into your pocket and support you and your addictions that way. No, ma'am. They're going to go elsewhere. They're going to watch whoever it is we react to. And that's what's going to happen. A lot of reactors are diversifying their content now anyway because you have gotten boring. There's really nothing to talk about. You do the same mukbangs in the same room talking about the same childhood stories. 8 years it took you to build a channel and then burn it to the ground. Tree to a place in every way where you just decided to let it all go. Well, that's what you did. Well, you can let it all go. We'll just move on from you.
I don't know, like, they really are. I don't know if you guys hear the conspiracies they say. I think a lot of people just go there to chat with people and like just hate on this.
Yeah, you know what? What's wrong? It's been said many times that a lot of people go to the reaction channels and the live chats because they like to have fun. They want to talk to each other. They want to talk to the reactor and just hang out and chill. And you are just background noise. Really, you're just background noise. It's about a vibe, Chantal. It's about a feeling. It's about the ambiance. It's about people coming together and having fun. When is the last time people have had fun on your channel, in your chat, laughing, having a good time? It's been a while. People go to your channel and all they deal with is you dumping on them, talking about your personal issues, your pain. Oh, this is wrong with me and that's wrong with me and here's my blood sugar. Your channel is not fun. That's why there's more people in girl world. They want to have fun. They don't want to come on YouTube and get stressed all the way out and have somebody dump all their personal issues in their eardrum.
The same person. You say the same shit over and over every day. Every day, the same shit. Talking about my diabetes, how bloated I.
You know what? We talk about your diabetes and you being bloated because that's what you talk about. That's what every stream is about. You want to talk about something different? Do something different. Stop putting everything on repeat.
Look, how, whatever, like, you know, like what I'm eating. It's like so repetitive. Hey, happily sober.
You know, she just insulted herself, right? Everything is so repetitive. Well, that's because you're repetitive. So trying to insult us, you just insulted yourself.
Soup, it's cold in here right now, actually. I want to try these pickles. I wish I had dill and mustard seed. But I think it's going to be good. And whole garlic is really good for you, too. I don't care if I have bad breath. I'm still going to kiss Allah. Oh yeah, I forgot the lemon juicy water. Oh, I wanted to put lemon on it. Chili and cornbread is good. 90% veggies and protein changed my life. I have kidney disease too. Oh, really? Yeah, 14-year-old bullies that never gave up. Exactly. Right, exactly. I think they did that because you went back to eating fast food. Okay, and they don't eat fast food or what? Hello?
Not every day, not 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh, like, how are they fat then?
I'm not fat. But even if I were, does it matter? I'm a reactor. I'm not walking down a catwalk. I don't have to be a size 2. I'm not fat. I don't know what I weigh, but I think it's like, what, 120 something, 130 pounds maybe? I don't know. I know I was a size 16 in pants, and now I'm down to a size 10. And now that I'm cycling, it's probably going to shrink even more, but who cares? It's not about your measurements. It's not about your weight. It's about just sitting down and reacting to somebody.
This is not sugary bread, YouTube lover. This is like I'm allowed to eat whole grain carbs, like in moderation. I had it one.
Yeah, but that's the problem. You don't eat anything in moderation. You always do too much. You're a person of excess, Chantal. You always go to the extreme side of the scale in all things, men, food, party favors. You don't know how to do just a little. If you try to do just a little, you think you're restricting yourself, you're missing out on something. I don't know what the thinking is, but you feel like you're missing out on something. And then you want to do more. A little will do you just fine. But you're defiant and bullheaded, and you think a little is not enough and too much is enough.
Piece. So no, I don't agree with you. I'm sorry. I think eating sugary carbs, if I was eating like a little Debbie cake, yes. A little piece of multigrain baguette, no. I don't agree with that.
Ma'am, bread, carbs turn into sugar in the bloodstream, just saying.
They served me, YouTube lover, they served me white rice in the hospital, like on a diabetic eating plan while I was there. So, I mean, I don't know.
You know what? I'm remembering something. Let's see if you guys remember. This sounds really, really similar to when she went to the hospital before and she said that the nurse served her something that was inappropriate. Doesn't that sound similar? Like the nurse served her fruit? Is she recycling the story from before and just adding a different kind of food?
And grapes. Yeah, Paula. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. They'll be ready tomorrow, I guess. We will have to wait and see. So it's 5:43. So if I want to go to bed by I don't know why I bought a whole bunch of carrots. They come in these huge styrofoam things. I hate styrofoam.
Okay, I have a question. Why were the carrots just sitting right there on her desk?
But I used a few for the soup. That's why they're open. But
Okay, so you used them for the soup, so why aren't they in the kitchen?
oh, and what I'm gonna have for dessert? Okay, hold on. I'll show you. Oh, sorry, my thing wasn't right. Just see that. Oh, thanks, emails. Whoa, it was like so behind. Protein shakes, like with protein powder. No, it's 5:43 p.m. Second, I don't know. I think it's a cheese, Zainab.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there, just my thoughts. Chantal's a bit of a night owl and she stays up late. Here's my theory is part of the reason why. I think she purposely stays up really, really late to have her B moments. I don't know when Salah shows up. I don't know when he's there, but it would make sense that if he's there during the day for whatever reason, that at night she can have her B moments and he's not going to know. Like she's sneak eating.
Will I use all those? Inshallah. What is this? Just a peach. What the hell happened to it? Ow, I thought they were supposed to be round. I'll leave it later. I gotta wash it. Everyone eats fast food. You're eating more healthy. Yeah, I was just like at a point where I was like, I admitted that I'm like in denial.
All that moving she's doing around in that chair, you don't have sciatica. I'm sorry, no, you don't.
About it, like, you know.
Y'all hear that? Do you hear that poor chair? That poor chair is screaming for mercy. That chair is broke. The hydraulics in that gaming chair, because I used to have one of those, not that exact model, but you guys saw it before when I was in Washington, the pink one. Chairs like that, they have like a little hydraulic type system with a lever like on the side that you can use it to pull the chair, make it go higher or lower. The hydraulics in that chair are broke, which can happen. But that chair has a weight limit of 400 pounds, and listen to the way she's moving around in it and the sounds of it. It's broke.
But don't come for me about eating fast food when you're clearly not healthy yourself. You know, the people who do the criticizing, one's built like a bullfrog or the friggin' penguin from Batman, and the other one's a friggin' hillbilly Cabbage Patch doll. Get a life. Protein powder. I don't like those. I guess you could add peanuts butter, maybe. Food addiction is tough, yeah, it is, and eating disorders and everything, you know.
And as long as Chantal is on YouTube, as long as she's including food in with her content, she will never break free of her addiction. How can you break free of something when it's the focal point of everything? It's the focal point for you. It's the focal point for your audience. It's the content on your channel. How can you break free of something that's at the center point of everything you do, everything you say, everything you think? There's no way. To get away from something, you have to put it away from you. I mean, her name is Foodie Beauty. Food is literally part of her identity. It's part of the identity of her channel and her content. Food is so ingrained in everything that she would have to find something to replace all of that, and she's not going to do it. She's too far down the hole.
Ribby, yum. Actually, that does sound good. Quinoa does sound good in a salad. Like, I don't know. A bullfrog, Denise, it's true. Like, ribbit. I don't know what I mean by how Western. It was just I got very similar treatment. Like, you know. Yeah, I went back into hiding after getting fat shamed for. I know. Camera's back off. Thank you, by the way. Like, reach out to ALR. I think I have food addiction and it's hard for me to eat nutritious food. Yeah, because I mean, nutritious food is not addictive. Do you ever crave a carrot? Do you ever look at this and go, ooh? I mean, some of you sick-minded people might, but like you're not going to be like, I'm going to go home and binge on carrots. No. Who cares about carrots, you know? I like beetroot, yeah.
Okay, so YouTube lover says, Chantal, whole grain bread can be higher in sugar than a candy bar. If you don't believe me, test your sugars after you've eaten bread. You benefit from low carb fasting and whole foods. There you go. So trying to bring up it's whole grain bread doesn't sound too good, Chantal.
Don't like worry too much about the scale.
Yeah, because you broke the last one. And you don't even have a scale that can handle all your weight. That 400-pound scale that you have, not high enough.
Have you ever been to USA? Yes. I've been to Florida, New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, don't come back here. How about that? Stay here and don't come back.
Higher in sugar than candy bar. I ate it with protein, so I don't know. We'll see. Do you ever crave a whole pineapple? No. Uh, Not a whole pineapple, no. Carrot with hummus. Oh, yeah. We have a lot of hummus here. I'm in the Middle East. I eat nut flours, not processed flours. Hmm. Oh, you mean like where the like white flour? Thank you, Happily. Rumpelstiltskin. What does Rumpelstiltskin look like? Isn't she like dating? Isn't she have a crush on a guy who's like? She makes fun of my weight. Isn't her boyfriend like morbidly obese and had like human waste and trash all over their house? And you're gonna come for me? Okay. And my husband, get a life. I don't know if that's true. That's what I heard. I don't know
Yeah, I don't know if it's true. It's just what I heard. No, she watches everybody. Nosy.
who it is, but you can tell the reaction channels have no idea what it's like to have a food addiction.
I do. I do know. And even as someone that I had a food problem, I'm saying to everybody, like, her excuses are bullshit to me. They are. They're bullshit. She looks for shields of many different kinds to hide behind. She wants to continue to act badly and have excuses to act badly rather than correct the bad behavior. Always playing the victim, always the damsel in distress, tied to the railroad tracks. She's so help me. I can't help myself. I do this because of this, and I went through this, and it's nonsense. If you have an addiction of any kind, you can get help, you can get therapy, you can get on the other side of it. She doesn't want to. She's not even trying. She's not even trying to fight against it. She's leaning into it and using the excuse of her channel and the fact that she attracts the feeties as a reason to continue her behavior and make her health worse. And even going so far as to abuse her medication so she can have more B moments. Ugh.
never be this cruel to a drug addict. Well, look at Scabadoo's late baby husband.
We doing it. Why are we talking about this again? Stop it. Stop it. You, madam, as an active addict of food, you have nothing to say about anybody else who's gone through addiction. You cannot say that. You cannot do that. I won't let you. You cannot go for somebody and come for somebody, alive or dead, that they were fighting their own battle. And whether they won or lost, it's none of your business. You're an addict and you're not even fighting the battle. You've laid down your gun and said, I quit. I'm just going to let whatever happen, happen. You're not even trying to fight. You're not. Don't criticize people who are addicts. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what their issues might be. Stop it.
Or whatever you want to call it, baby daddy overdosed. You'd think she'd be more understanding, but not What do you mean tell these reaction channels? Who are you talking about? Yabba Dabba Scabba? She's in her 300s. She has an eating problem.
And you're in your 500s. Be quiet. When is the last time you've seen 300 pounds, Chantal? When is the last time? Like, what, 2017?
So does.
What's your point? What is the point of comparing pounds? I don't get it, y'all. What is this, a weight competition? What is this? Who cares?
French fried ghoul. She doesn't have a neck anymore.
And neither do you. But you know what, Frenchie, she owns herself. She's like, yeah, I'm this and I'm that and big deal. I don't care. She owns what she is. She owns who she is. You don't. You hide. You disguise. You use filters. You lie. You deny yourself. You're not comfortable in your own skin. You try to tell us a lie. Oh, I'm 300 something pounds. No, you're not. Anybody can look at pictures or videos from 2018, look at the ones now. You're not the same person. When you were in the 300s, you never broke couches, Chantal. You never broke chairs, Chantal, or shower drains, or had trouble getting into cars or boats, or dragging your foot. That was not you. 300 Chantal could walk across the field just fine, no help, no assistance. Could get in the car and use your little car tray, no problem. Could do a lot of things you can't do anymore.
Like what? Like, you want to talk about delusional? Delusion is sitting there talking like you know any effing thing about someone else's eating problems when you're turning off the camera and scarfing down a fucking.
How do you know what they do when they turn off the camera? You're not there. When you got hidden cameras in their house, how do you know what they do? You don't know. You're assuming. You're talking like your bad habits or everybody else's bad habits. Maybe not. You have no idea what happens when those cameras are turned off.
Large pizza yourself. Like what? Like, that's delusion. Oh, shut up, Sarah. Who cares?
So Beepus says you can tell the reaction channels have no idea what it's like to have food addiction. They would never be this cruel to a drug addict, but for a food addict, it's okay for some reason. Beepus, I've dealt with food issues. Okay? As a matter of fact, that was the entire reason I started reacting to Chantal in the first place. Because I saw what she was doing. That she was monetizing her food issue. And I noticed things about her behavior. Things that you wouldn't know unless you've been through that. Things that I did when I was a food addict. Like the whole situation of like stuffing yourself and then laying down for a minute just to wait for that pocket of space in your stomach to get back up and eat some more. I did that. Not to the extreme that she did, but I still did it. So just things like that, you know, and the fact that she was catering to the feeders. And I thought that was wrong. So I started reacting to her. But I know what it is to be a food addict, to have BED. And I'm not cruel. But at the same time, I'm not going to let her get away with trying to use food addiction as an excuse to continue her gluttony and to do self-harm content. And I will call it out because it needs to be called out. Nobody should be watching this shit. What scares me to death is there might be somebody right now that wants a big channel on YouTube. They want a lot of viewers. They want money. They might come across her channel with 100,000 subscribers and say, well, this looks easy. I could just sit down and eat some fast food and make some money and get a whole bunch of subs. Nobody should be following her footsteps. She's a walking, talking cautionary tale. She's all the 7 deadly sins wrapped into one person. But she is a cautionary tale that if you're a person and you decide to live a life without restriction, without rules, without boundaries, without morals, without values, you could turn into this. You could be this miserable. She is the absolute definition that money does not buy happiness, because money is literally all she has. She's got nothing else. In every respect, she is broke. She's bankrupt. There's a lot of emptiness in her life. And no matter how much food she eats, that emptiness will never be full. Always like a termite, just consuming, 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 just trying to fill the emptiness for half a second, and it never works. And yet it doesn't click in her head. You know what? The methods that I'm using to fix myself are not working. Maybe I should try something else. No, she'll stick to the same program, which leads to the same misery, which leads to more health problems.
You think goodbye. I don't know that. It makes it worse. They are horrible people. Yeah, exactly.
And you know what, Beep, is one more thing. We're cruel to Chantal. How many of us have said she needs inpatient? She needs to go to treatment. She needs to go to therapy. A lot of us have said that. She doesn't want to hear that part. She just doesn't want to hear it. She hears the criticisms and she assumes they're all hateful. But we have said, go to therapy, go to inpatient, go home and take care of yourself. She doesn't want to do it. What can we do?
Keep up this. Like, whatever. Yeah. So then Christians, just because they don't wear a hijab, them being wonderful people sitting there and swearing at others is not crazy. Get out of here, stupid people. Everyone's deluded. Everyone has issues. I don't know why people bother pointing fingers at each other. We're all shit. Sorry to tell you. We're all obese. Obese. It's literal delusion. They have been saying for how long they're on a spike diet. I'm sorry. They're all exactly blacks. Like, I would rather be my weight, have my life, my face, than look like FF Ghoul. Like, I can't tell you how much I would not want her sad life.
You would love FFG's life. You're lying to yourself by saying that. You would love to trade places with FFG, to be more active, to be more mobile, to have more money, to have more freedom. You would trade places with anybody else who wasn't you, to get away from your own life. And you know that's true, Chantal. You are so miserable that if given the chance, you would trade places with anyone for any kind of an improvement.
Nope, you can keep all your crappy, hateful piece of shit dumbass. She has a following, like who her following is like? Kalari. An idiot.
What? You know what? This part puzzled me. Why is she coming for Miss Kalari? Kalari is a wonderful person. She's very intelligent. She's well spoken. She's well written. She's written a book. She's taking care of her health. She's doing the doggone thing. She works out. She's on top of things. And she's in a loving relationship with a wonderful man who cares about her. She's got a great family. Yet Chantal keeps coming for her. Maybe it's because of all the reasons I just described. All the things that Kalari has that Chantal doesn't have, that Chantal will never have. Chantal covets. She constantly covets, always looking around to see what other people have and getting jealous and mean about not having. That's her problem. Putting Kalari's name in her mouth again.
This idiot is bigger than me and calls me a heifer. Bigger. And has no teeth. Like, has any no.
Madam, you shouldn't come for somebody's teeth. Have you seen your teeth? Have you seen them lately? I'm looking at them now.
They're talking about my looks. And we'll sit there and be like, so you're going to talk about my looks? I'm a published author. Who gives a shit? So is the person who wrote Twilight. They'll publish anybody these days. Published author.
Well, you know what? She's very proud of her book, and she should be. I'm sure it's a great book, but it's an accomplishment. If you wrote a book, you'd be proud of it. You'd be promoting it. But you haven't done anything with your life, so be quiet.
Like, the point is, this idiot comes from my looks when they're no looker themselves. So somebody needs a reality check sometimes.
I'm sure Kalari didn't have to pay $9,000 for her husband, though.
Little nitty.
Yeah. And he really loves her for real. He's not fake loving her.
Sunset, true. Brianna, I'm a bitch. I don't know why you keep being surprised and saying yikes. Yes, that's just how I am, okay? No, Ezra, I don't like any of them. And I don't watch anybody, so I don't care.
She doesn't watch anybody. She doesn't watch anyone. Lies. Lies all day. Lies. She doesn't watch anybody, but yet she can describe in detail what goes on in the lives and what we said. How is that possible if you didn't watch?
Slander will not be tolerated. Oh, Brenda, those books are crap. Hey, Lolo. Yeah, I'm doing a lot better, actually. Thank you. Harry Houdini, that's his new name, Polly. They clearly have food issues, though, and also have had drug problems, call it rejection. Yeah. Mm. I don't smoke.
Oh, look at this. Somebody in the chat, Reby, says they clearly have food issues, though, and also have had drug problems. I call it projection. Imagine that. Somebody in Chantal's chat trying to addiction shame. At the same time, they're promoting somebody who's an addict. Okay. Hypocrisy much?
Anything anymore. But look at the ghoul. Chain smokes, you can tell. You don't have a friggin' voice sounding like you're starting a car engine when you're laughing.
That's not working either for me, Chantal. You're shaming somebody who smokes. At the same time, we've seen you go after the shisha, and you'll smoke it until it's all gone, and that's equal to 90 cigarettes.
If you don't smoke 20 packs a day.
Ma'am, one shisha session is equal to 90 cigarettes. Even as a smoker, there's no way that I could sit there and smoke 90 cigarettes all in one session, but you do. So you're a smoker too, ma'am.
Yeah, Paula, exactly. I tried reading Twilight, and that's it. That's all I gotta say. That person, they're so forgettable. I hate all you freaks. Not Beezers, of course I love my Beezers. I mean, you know who I mean. I'm a sweary Christian. I hope they. Yeah, you don't believe in God, right? Damn it, Amber, because you get mad and swear sometimes. It's not like I can pull off my hijab to friggin' swear. My husband would probably not like that too much. Just saying. Like, every time I swear I'm gonna take my hijab off or what? No. I'll just, I don't know, ask for forgiveness later. I don't know. Who's a published author? A double wide Tyson gap. I don't know. Somebody like a super fan of the stupid, dumb two other big freaking reactors who are like, I don't know. Remember he didn't like Alexa Shook. Yeah. I don't like you. I don't like you. I don't like you. And I don't like you. Oh, I feel bad for me. When they put it there, I'm like, one time they put it here. You ever have a freaking needle stuck in your freaking knuckle? Like, why would you do that? I don't even see my veins. How do they even tell? Ugh. Just feeling for it grosses me out. You feel your veins? I mean, I'm fleshy, so I don't know about that. Yeah, no, before they did. And I had my blood taken in my foot before too.
Moving ahead.
I've got eyes and an opinion. Kalara's got a hell of a lot of nerve talking about any other woman's look. I know. She looks ridiculous. She's on her squeaking like the table. The exercise bike is for dear life, and she's just sitting there like talking about the 4th of July and like just
Prove that she watches Kalari. Miss Kalari, if you're watching this react, this one is saying, like, she's like, oh, I don't watch the reaction channels. I just watch through Yo Mama. But I love how she tells on herself, Kalari. So she watches your videos, girlfriend, when you're sitting there on the bike. You watch her videos for what purpose? To make yourself mad? Like, why watch her videos when she's exercising? At least she's exercising, Chantal. She's doing the doggone thing. She's working on her health, getting herself together, all the way together. When's the last time you've exercised? You won't even go walk.
calling me a heifer. Can you imagine? What are you then? What, a woolly mammoth? Really?
Racist.
Okay, so if I'm a heifer, you're the woolly mammoth. Thank you, Tanji. And you can't be mad. You can't be mad, Biatch, because you came for me first. You came for me first. I didn't even know you existed.
Did she come into your chat and confront you? No, she just put her opinions out there. So nobody came for you. You just came into a backyard that you were not invited to and stuck your nose in where it wasn't wanted and made yourself mad for no reason.
Sardines, really? Times a day, really? I had my metformin twice already today. Okay, should I try it? I can do it now. I just won't show it. Thought. I wonder if I should take it now. I gotta put my fridge pickles back. I can't wait to eat these. It's just vinegar, water, and salt, a bit of olive oil.
No spices?
Dried mango is so good. I don't care, like Azur, I don't mind people like talking about me, but it's like people who like build careers off of like hate channels.
This isn't a career. It's just a reaction channels are not careers. They're just reaction channels, Chantal. Even the most successful channel on YouTube, everybody knows. You know, like you got to have you got to do something else because what if YouTube is gone tomorrow? Things are always changing. You can't count on YouTube. You can't make it your entire income. The money A is not high enough. B, it's very unstable ground. You try to turn YouTube into your career, look how it turned out.
And just sit there and insult and like are disgusting when they themselves are disgusting. And I just hate hypocrisy. I hate dumbness, like stupidity. Like people, I don't know, is dumbness even a word? But like, you know what I mean? Like sometimes
You're going to ramble about the same things.
11 at least, even 10. Um, that's why I'm doing this live stream early so that that we could watch a movie and like relax and then go to sleep together at a decent hour because we have to be up early and like have a normal day. But he's already sleeping. I know him. I knew he wouldn't be able to do it. I'm not really that tired. I think I slept enough the past like week there. He would be sleeping in my car.
Moving on.
So bad. Okay, gotta go up a bit so you don't see my. For being drastic is like no fast food and like not overeating. That's like success for me right now.
Okay, you know what? I'm making an executive decision. She had a bit of snarkiness in her to start with, and she's slowing down and just mumbling. I don't know what else is on this live, but if there's anything of interest, it'll probably be on Twitter later, and I'll just include it in with the next react. So we'll just end it here. And I'm sorry if there's anything important in the live that I'm missing, but the react is already at 2 hours and 35 minutes, and there's a lot more to go with this live, but I seriously don't think there's going to be anything great. So I'm just going to dip out for now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this react. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.